I'm Lisa, the Guitar Goddess, and this is another guitar lesson on how to improvise using scales and getting out of them and getting out of your comfort zone a little bit on the fretboard. So, I usually, when I teach kids, or teenagers I should say, I teach by patterns. They get confused about all the notes and all the dots and all that type of thing. So, best thing about the guitar is everything's movable, all up and down the fretboard. It's the same. So if we play any simple 1 octave scale, say a C major scale, when you play your scales, make sure you use one finger for one fret. It sort of owns that fret. Then go back down. If we move that exact pattern up 2 frets, we'll change the scale to a D major. Have the exact same pattern. Being a major scale is always tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone. Meaning, we'll go back to C. C to D is a tone. D to E is a tone. E to F is a semitone. F to G is a semitone. A tone, sorry. G to A is a tone. A to B is a tone. B to C is a semitone. It's the formula for the major scale, sort of like in maths. Formula works, well, scales are the same. You find the formula, find the pattern, and it's always movable from any major scale, anywhere, any scale for that matter. So, going back to your C major scale, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Move it up 2 frets. Same thing. Tone from D to E, E to F sharp, because it's D major, so it has to have an F sharp. Don't worry if you don't understand, that's fine. F sharp to G, semitone. G to A, G sharp, G to A, sorry. A to B, tone. B to C, sharp, tone. C sharp to D, semitone. If it's too easy from 1 octave, play it over 2 octaves. Same thing, move it up 2 frets. From D up 2 frets would become an E major scale. Use the same formula. Do it a couple of times 1 octave. Go up to 2 octaves. Start to play with a little bit. Oops. Okay, so go back to your C major scale. And just move it slowly up. You don't have to go up by 2 frets, go up by 1 fret. Play it once. Move. Always go up and down. So on and so forth. But use the patterns, move the patterns up and down. That's how I've always found it easiest to explain the fretboard of the guitar. Yes, the notes are very important. You don't have the scales without the notes, but if the notes are confusing and you get all wound up with what note's what, learn the pattern, get familiar with the pattern, and move the pattern. Okay, so go back to a very simple major scale pattern. Okay, move it right up to the 12th fret, play where it would be A major. Now, of course, this is only one pattern. There are many, many patterns on the fretboard of the guitar just for a major scale, and every scale has lots of different variations of patterns, which we'll cover in other lessons. This is just one pattern of the major scale, which is transferable all over the fretboard. Okay, so we'll go back and play C, move it up 1 fret, which would be C sharp or D flat, D, E flat, D sharp, E, F, and so on and so forth, right up to the 12th fret. Only one octave. Ideally, it is best to put on a metronome for this purpose to keep your tempo nice and straight, but we'll cover that in some rhythm lessons with the left hand and what have you. So right now it's more about getting the pattern and being familiar with it. Start to play with the pattern a little bit. Sorry, can't myself. When I say play with the pattern, I mean rearrange the notes instead of playing it straight through the pattern, because that's what improvisation is all about. It is simply just rearranging the notes. That's the basic principle of it. Okay, instead of playing the notes one way, you're playing a different way. Still E major scale. Back to C, same thing. Nice and simple. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Back down. C, B, A, and bring your tempo up. This hand, my picking hand, I always alternate my picking. So it's down, up, down, up.